Hello, my name's Michael Keneally, and this is part 4 of our Star Wheel Astrology and Healing newsletter for August 2021. And this part focuses on the need to develop our needed inspiration and vision now. Each of us and each of our societies are being called now to check out our structures and strategies, and to bring in revolution now when that is needed, and empowerment now when that is needed. This has been covered in part 3, for example, of our newsletter. And I actually think the revolution energy is big and will be big now and all year and longer, because Uranus is square Saturn and Pluto is conjunct Saturn in Vedic Capricorn. So what will we be feeling? And the first item is tension. I definitely feel that the Uranus square Saturn aspect brings tension, the call for us to fight our structures, hopefully just our blocks and our negative structures. But at this time, Rahu, the North Node, is casting an aspect to Saturn too, one that adds great fear to the tension. And actually, Uranus square Saturn's effects will include some dimensions of major destruction and long-lasting consequences. So I'm feeling it's very important to develop and tap into our inspiration and vision now for guidance. It's imperative always, and especially at this time, to get our life authentic to our inspiration and life purpose. And indeed, at this time, demolish negative structures and blocks in our life. And this is because there's energies that we can tap into now that are right for vision creation. They involve Neptune, and of course Neptune is two-sided. On the one side, negative is wonderful sensitivity and intuition and psychism. But on the other side, Neptune, well, at his worst, is drink, drugs and delusion. And of course, it's not so easy for us always to be sure where we are on that divide. And indeed, very rational people, perhaps very Geminian people, find it quite difficult sometimes not to condemn Neptune. But anyway, I've certainly had wonderful gifts from Neptune, which I'll mention. So at this time, Neptune in the heavens is opposite Venus, and then opposite Sun, and then opposite Mars. And Neptune in the heavens is actually in the very metaphysical, mystical nakshatra called Purvabhadra nakshatra. And crucially is shortly to enter Vedic Pisces in April next year. Crucially, Pluto is sextile Neptune all month. And this aspect of Pluto sextile Neptune certainly includes the dimension of potential divine connection and inspiration energy. So if you are drawn to vision work, this is a good time, and that has been the case for many months. But remember, of course, the downside of Neptune, that we have to distinguish what is illusion. This is the spiritual challenge of Neptune. So I can share, for example, that when Neptune was major highlighted in my chart, I actually was doing a 5-year social anthropological field study, a university-based social anthropological field study of spiritual forms new to the modern West. And so the method was social anthropology, specifically living in the communities one studied and giving the people their voice. And the main focus area was Glastonbury in southwest England, quite a spiritual centre. And the focus areas were Hinduism, Tibetan Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, paganism, shamanism, and utopian community. So the latter was people living on Bender sites dedicated to tread softly on the earth. But at this time, I simultaneously, completely unexpectedly developed clairaudience and clairvision. In fact, that was predicted. I happened to go and see a medium in Bristol who said, you're going to have clairaudience. And I hadn't actually heard then, this was in 1998, what clairaudience was. But yes, indeed, I heard these channeled words all about the journey to manhood of a young man at the Mesolithic era, hunter-gatherer era, which I wrote down in my first novel, and which I actually also wrote down as the lyrics of a song for a Glastonbury rock group. I also ran Glastonbury ritual tours at that 5-year period. And this time now, again, Neptune is big activated in my life, in my chart as well. And so I've been recently so open to doing vision work and shamanic healing work, which I've been doing since 1994. And I'm writing a novel about the gods and the goddesses of the ancient Irish. So Neptune has gifts. So I'll end this section of our August newsletter by mentioning 4 of the current astrological aspects involving Neptune. So the first, as I said, is Neptune sextile Pluto, which Reinhold Ebertin in his wonderful book, The Combination of Stellar Influences, glosses one of the meanings as the supernatural. Secondly, Neptune is opposite Venus exact on the 9th of August. Neptune opposite Venus can have a sense of the utter ideal in love, but of course it can also bring to us our illusions in love. It's like the Pied Piper is Neptune. We have to follow to the correct vision destination. Neptune is opposition Mercury and conjunct Mars around the 21st of August. And that's at the same time that Jupiter is opposite the Sun. So that could be very visionary and inspirational around the 21st of August. And lastly, the exact date for the Neptune opposition Mars is the 31st of August. And that can be very good for vision work, but it can also be tough for bringing sort of drain or confusion in our needed realm of action. So I hope this whistle-stop tour of the need now to develop your vision and inspiration is of inspiration for you. Thank you.